All right, guys, can we start the session? Am I audible to all of you? Can you just confirm me whether the voice is loud and clear? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, Sharanya, I'll give you opportunity. Yes, Sanjay. We discussed that in the group already. I have discussed that in the group. Can you see the chat which is actually pinned? And then if you can't understand, then message me personally. Okay. So any questions? Okay, what I'll do is I'll see, I'm expecting some more members to join. So we'll take 5 more minutes. Any questions we can discuss? Let me stop recording so that we'll get the continuation. 1 minute, guys. I'll unmute one by one. Please raise your hands and then let me stop recording for some time. Okay, now can we start today's session? Okay, so guys, again, very important topic, but I'll try to cover it in very less time. So the way you are going to manage stress in UPSC interview. Okay, so see, this is something which every aspirant experience, and there is nothing to worry about that. Stress and anxiety, that's there throughout the preparation, but especially during the time of interview, right? During the previous day, 2 days before, it will be at maximum level. Even prelims time also, mains time also, I used to experience this, and I couldn't sleep, and I used to have sleeping pills also. So I know, and I can speak about this. Okay, so that's the reason why I thought of adding this topic in this. So guys, feeling nervous, feeling stressed is completely normal. Remember, after all, you are at the final stage and the most important stage of the exam, and you have come through a lot. Okay, there is a lot of riding on it. Okay, so you have come through the different levels, and you're at the final stage. So it's okay. It's normal to have stress. We'll overcome that. I'll discuss certain things, but otherwise also that's not a big deal. That's not a big problem. But again, managing that stress is very important. Okay, and that's a key to performing to the best when it comes to the interview. You need to have a good night's sleep also. So guys, when you're calm and composed, you are able to think clearly, respond confidently, and leave a positive impression on the panel. So we need to have some idea how can we manage stress, and how can we answer clearly, logically, without stress getting caught on our thoughts. Okay, so guys, as I told you, I have been on your shoes, and I remember feeling those pre-interview jitters myself. I've gone through a lot, and I have even taken sleeping pills also at that time. My mentor used to come and stay with me always. Guys, this is why you need to have a personal mentor. uh, it's not necessary someone like me or some teacher. It can be your parents, it can be your cousin, brother, or sister, who can guide you, who can be with you. See, it's not that you go alone. Maybe you're from Kerala or Tamil Nadu, you go to Delhi, stay alone, face these situations and all. No, always go with your mentor if you have. I was fortunate to have a very good mentor. His name was Samjad. He, in all my 3 interviews, he came with me. He stayed with me, and he come there till the UPSC and wait all the way, from morning till I come back, and he go and buy Red Bull and all those things at that point of time. I still remember. So what I want you to have is a very good mentor. If not, your family member should be there to support you. Okay, so always be very cool, and tension, stress, anxiety should not affect you. If so, it is very difficult to handle also. And I have experienced this, and I've learned over a period of time. With my 3-year experience, third interview, I was very cool. Okay, and that's the year I got less mark also. That's the different thing compared to the previous 2 interviews, but that's the year I got selected, where I scored super good in sociology. Okay, So see, over a period of time, and with the three personal interviews that I have experienced, and then uh, after that, seeing so many students, then I've learned how to manage that anxiety. Okay, and I'm here basically to share those strategies with you. So we will discuss some things. We will see if you can implement that, and we'll see if you can get out of that stress and anxiety. Okay, so that's what I'm planning. But again, this is not an objective session like what we do before. So this is more of subjective. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's try to understand and let's try to do something about this because it's a necessity. We need to do something. Okay, so basically, to manage stress effectively, you first need to understand from where it is coming from. Now, there are several common reasons why candidates feel stressed during UPSC interview. So the first one, if you see from psychology, this is what I can understand. So high stakes. This is a final stage of the exam, and many candidates feel that everything they have worked for, comes down to these 30, 40 minutes. Some of you might be preparing for 2 years, some might be for 4 years, and some, this is the last attempt, seventh or ninth. So years of attempt, and finally, coming to the subjective 30, 40 minutes. Remember, guys, this is very subjective. It is not mathematical. They are not going to give you a score based on your brilliance. It's the way you present. That's why I told you never try to be true to yourself. I repeat this. Never try to be true to yourself. Even if you try to be true to yourself, why then different interviews vary? But if you true to them, and if you can understand what they are asking, why they are asking, and if you can answer for that, more or less you get same mark. Okay. So anyway, we discussed that many times. So that's what the tension and the stress is all about. That 30, 40 minutes, all your hard work now completely depending on this. Okay. So the weight of that pressure, that's overwhelming. And that's what the main issue. Again, the fear of failure. You don't want to have that. You have come so far and you are with me. We have discussed so many things. Imagine someone who's attending the interview without this kind of discussions and the support, and there is a huge difference between you and them, right? So the fear of making mistakes or not being able to answer questions can cause a lot of anxiety, but you won't face that. Trust me, once you clear mains and after the personal sessions we have, I can take it down from you. Don't worry about that. We'll do that. Candidates often worry about being judged harshly by the panel. Okay, so you won't feel that since you are with me for the next 6 months. So pressure to impress, that's again a big issue. So there is a strong desire to make good impression on the interview panel for each aspirants, right? And this pressure can lead to nervousness, tension, stress, anxiety. Okay, so guys, the issues now you very clear. So understanding these sources of stress is the first step towards managing them. Now you understood. This is why I'm getting stressed. So now how can I come out of it? Okay, so that's what I'm going to discuss. So even when I prepared for my interviews, I realized that, much of my anxiety come from the fear of the unknown. That what if I couldn't answer a question? What if I couldn't clear this interview? What if they ask a question which is not known to me? Right. That time I'm not like this. I don't have this kind of confidence or attitude or knowledge or like you only, right? So that same nervousness, tension is there. But now I can teach you all these because of this experience that I have for last 10 years. Okay, so again, once you accepted that it's okay not to know everything and focusing on staying calm, that's where you get the confidence. That's how I started getting the confidence. That's what the role of a mentor. The Samjad, he is my brother. He always tell me that they're not looking for answers from you. They're looking for certain qualities from you. Even if you're not telling an answer, even if you're not giving an answer, it is normal. It is human to not knowing answers. Okay, so but the way you respond to that is what matters. Even if you know the answer, it's the way you give the answer is what matters, and the answer in itself is not going to give you the mark. Whether you make it a right answer, it's not going to give you mark. It's all about the way you present the answer which you know. Similarly, even if you don't know the answer, you are not going to lose the mark. but you can gain mark even if you don't know the answer based on the way you are going to present that. You got my point? So ultimately, it's about the way you communicate to them rather than telling right things. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next slide. See, guys, these are some things which I have learned from psychologists. Since I had some issues at that point of time, they have told these exercises to do. So I am telling you the same thing. So this is what the inputs that I have got. And I've tried it at that point of time, but now there is no point in doing that. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. Okay. So several practical techniques you can use to manage stress, both before the interview and during the interview also. Like if you remember, many times I told you, whenever I come across certain question, I take a moment, I take a deep breath, and then I'll answer. So let's discuss some of which. First is the breathing exercise. Deep breathing is one of the simplest and the most effective ways to calm your nerves. So you come across a certain situation, okay, take a deep breath, that will bring calmness automatically. So when you feel stressed, your breathing becomes shallow, so which again increase anxiety. So you can practice deep breathing, inhale slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. And this technique slow your heart rate and helps you to relax. But during interview, you won't get that much time and all those things. But take a moment. Or in case if you're stuck in an answer, take a pause, take a deep breath. You'll automatically become calm and then continue. Second is visualization. So before the interview, take few moments to visualize yourself entering the room confidently. I used to do this and answering questions calmly and leaving with a sense of accomplishment. Visualize this. So visualization is a powerful tool that can help you to reduce anxiety and boost your confidence. So think about this, that you're entering, visualize that you're entering the board is welcoming you with a smile, and you're answering with confidence, and they're appreciating your answer, and you come out of the board with a proper, accomplishment. That again give you confidence. Always imagine that. Positive self-talk. Replace all negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Instead of thinking, what if I make a mistake? Remind yourself that I've prepared well and I'm ready for this. And it's not about it's not about giving right answer. It's okay to not to know an answer. But even if I don't know an answer, I know how to convey and communicate it to the interviewer. So when I know how to communicate, even if I don't know an answer, then what maximum? Either I know, I'll do it, I'll answer it. If I don't know, I know even in those situations how to communicate and I can make a better impression on them. Then what's there to worry? That's what I told you as a student of mine, and this is what I can assure you. You won't face a problem like that. What you don't want to be anxious about what if I won't get an answer. That sentence is nowhere there in our the dictionary. Okay, so we are not going to think about that. There is no point in thinking about that. What if I won't get an answer? I don't have an answer, but I know how to communicate. Even in that situation, I know how to communicate what the quality that they're looking for as a civil servant from me. Then why I'm worried about? In fact, maybe to communicate certain qualities like that, let's suppose you got 7 correct answers. One of the question, even if you know the answer, sometimes you need to politely say that you don't know to communicate this, quality also. You have to sometimes, even if you know the answer, you have to tell them that this is what I told you. We are going to act in front of them. Okay, so think that way. So even if you don't know an answer, it's okay. Right? So a positive self-talk is again very important. It can shift your mindset and reduce feelings of self-doubt. Guys, I'm very sure that I can see a lot of personal messages from each one of you, and I'm very happy that the way you are changing your thought process and everything, and the impact that I have even with the very less number of sessions. So imagine that you're going to spend another 6 months. We are, going to take it in a different level. So grounding techniques. Grounding techniques, which will actually help you to stay present and focused during the interview. So what is this all about? One simple method is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and one thing you can taste. It's not during the interview, but before the interview to calm yourself. So this exercise will actually help you to bring your focus back to present moment and reducing anxiety. Because sometimes you may go thinking different random things. So to bring back, this is something which you can do. Again, it's not my suggestion, it's a opinion or suggestion which was given to me by a psychologist. I had to meet a psychologist during my interview because of my stress level. That's why I have added this topic to you. Okay, so even before my interview, I have practiced this exercises which they have given to me. They have given this list, and I've practiced this exercise of visualization also. I would picture myself walking into the room and very confidently wishing them with a smile and getting back that wish from them. Asking they're asking me to sit, then I'll sit, and then they start questions and I answer it politely with confidence and come out of some kind of good accomplishment with appreciation from the panel. And that actually help you to calm your nerves and mentally prepare for the interview. So yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Guys, there is nothing much to discuss very formally in this session. And I'm not taking, if you see, these sessions are not much very formal. And if I try to keep it that way, then it is going to be very theoretical. I'm making it practical. I'm talking about what can happen during the interview. The reality is what we are discussing. So if I want to discuss theory, it is very simple. Take a book and make a PPT and explain that book. That's the easiest. But I am talking from my experience and what actually can happen, what actually you need to do. Theory, I can teach you, but you won't be able to do that. Okay. So now let's discuss about this, handling the difficult, stress in the moment. Okay. You get difficult questions and unexpected question, you will automatically get stressed, right? So it's common to encounter a question you are not expecting or you don't know how to answer immediately. So then what you need to do? We discussed it or not? Don't be panic. What you will do is take a brief pause, collect your thoughts before responding. Okay, take a deep breath, and the panel doesn't expect you to answer instantly. Even if you answer instantly, that's actually that may show your knowledge, but that says that you are someone who jump onto things. You're not someone who's thinking logically. So that's again negative. Even if you know, still you have to take time. So what about if you don't know? Take time. That's something which you need to show as a quality also, that you are not someone who's jumping onto something immediately. Okay, so the panel is not expecting you to answer things very instantly, and they appreciate a thoughtful answer if you can do that. So if you need a moment, it's okay that you can tell that, sir, let me think for a second, and then you can do that. Okay, even you can ask that you need a moment to think, sir, politely, sir, can I take a moment to think about it, to recollect it? Yes, and take a pause, take a breathe, recollect the things and present it in a structured way. Perfect. So that's how you can do. Again, pausing and collecting your thoughts. I think I've missed one slide, guys. See, when you feel overwhelmed by a question, take a breath and pause. Okay, so this is what I told. And this allow you to regain that composure and structure your response very well. And the panel will appreciate that. That at least, see, when you take a moment to answer, that means you're not someone who's jumping onto things faster. That shows that you are someone who's always thoughtful. That shows you are someone who are taking time to think logically and act. That's a positive. So the panel will appreciate that you're thinking carefully rather than rushing into an answer. That shows your quality. Now, maintaining composure when you're unsure. So see, again, if you don't know the answer to a question, stay calm. It's okay not to know an answer. Okay, so it's perfectly fine to admit that you're unsure. you have not read about it, or you cannot recollect it. So see, a good way to respond is to say, I'm not fully aware of the latest update on this topic. So you are saying, yeah, I know about something about it, but I'm not sure about the or fully aware about the latest update on this topic, but I'll look into it. This shows that you're honest and willing to learn. You're saying, I am looking into it. I'll look into it. That means you're telling them that I'm willing to learn. And you're admitting that you are not updated about that. Both of which are qualities that the panel is looking for. So here what you did, the question which you don't know, you conveyed it in such a manner that you don't know, first thing, that you are telling the truth, admitting. At the same time, you're showing them that the willingness to learn that topic. Willingness to learn, that is a quality that they are looking for. And you are telling that, yes, I'll do this. So this is what I told you. Even if you got a question which you don't know, you can make it positive. Okay. In one of my interview, I was actually asked about a question, about a niche economic policy that I was not very well prepared of. I think I've discussed this in my previous lecture also. So what I did, instead of panicking, I took a pause and gathered my thoughts on the same, and admitted that while I didn't have the full information on that particular policy, I understood I know its broader implication, and then I offered my perspective on that. Okay. And the panel appreciated that. So see here, what you're doing is you're not trying to bluff. Okay. So the panel appreciated that you're not actually trying to bluff in my way through the question, and staying calm. That actually allowed me to handle the rest of my interview smoothly. Otherwise, what can happen if I go into anxiety or stress because of that question? Okay. Moving on to the next slide. There are some mismatch with the slides, I think. Okay. See, again, when it comes to the best ways to manage stress is basically to build confidence through preparation. So preparation means, see, in our setup itself, we have 5 one-to-one session with me. So you will be able to gain maximum confidence in that itself. We will have mock interview, and you will be taking more and more mock interview across the possible scenarios. Okay, so that will bring a lot of understanding about the situation, experience. So automatically the stress will go down. See, when you feel prepared, you are less likely to get overwhelmed by anxiety. The chances of stress is very less when you're prepared, when you're experienced. So what things you can do there? Mock interviews. Stay updated on current affairs. Prepare DAF-based question very well. So mock interviews are often most valuable, tools for reducing stress, because you are getting that actual experience. See, we discussed about, thinking about entering the interview board and other things, right? Visualizing. You can have a practical experience. So they help you to get used to the interview environment, practicing, the answers for the tough questions. You get the feedback, you can improve, and all these are advantages. So the more you practice, the more confident you will feel in the actual interview. So I would always suggest you, as much as possible, you take the mock interview. Okay. And stay updated on current affairs. Again, very important. You keep yourself well informed on important national and international issues that give you confidence when facing current affairs questions. So when you know that you are up to date, you'll be more comfortable discussing these topics during the interview. You are not afraid of, what if I get this question like that? Again, DAF-based questions. So when you thoroughly prepare the questions related to your DAF, that can help you start the interview on a strong note. You can guide the interviewer on your own way. And these questions are personal and specific to background. You can be well prepared and you can guide the interviewer throughout the interview. Right? So that's something which you need to do. See, I remember in my second interview, there was a moment when I started feeling bad. anxious because I was asked about a particular tricky question about international relation. Okay, and it was a topic that I've not anticipated, not prepared, but I know slightly about that, but I'm not sure about answering to the panel. Okay, and for a moment, I felt my nerves kicking in at that point of time because that was an unexpected question. But remember, in my second interviews, where actually I got a good mark. So maximum bad experience that I had is also in my second interview. The toughest questions I've in economy, I got tough question. IR, I got tough question. FDI related tough question was there. But again, I got good mark, 198 in that. So instead of panicking, what I did is again, the same process. These are things which you need to do. Take a breath and give myself a second thought. Okay, I used to pause and, I took some time, structured my thoughts. What I am saying is, in my perspective, what I want you to do. Okay, so take a pause, structure your thoughts, okay, and then give a balanced response that focus on broader context of India's foreign policy. You may not be having that specific knowledge, but you definitely have broad knowledge about India's foreign policy, its goals, its interest, and everything. The interest is permanent. See, the friends and enemies may vary when it comes to international relations, but the interest and the goals are actually permanent. Based on that, if you can do something, you can do that if you're confident. Take a moment and think and do that. So, if you see, that moment actually taught me the value of staying calm and composed, even when you're feeling the pressure. And when I got the score, I was expecting 160 mark in the second interview. I was expecting 160 and I got 198. Never expected. Never. So by using simple techniques, right? Pausing, taking a breath, staying calm, giving a second thought, I was able to manage that stress and deliver a thoughtful answer. So this is what I want to convey you. This is what you need to do. Okay. Now, very simple and small session here. What I need here, the key takeaways, how to conclude. So see, in my conclusion, I can tell that managing stress and anxiety during interviews all about your preparation, your mindset, and using practical techniques. Remember, guys, I'm with you. If possible, whoever need my support, if I'm in Delhi during that point of time, I can even come with you in the during the interview, and I can stay outside in front of the UPSC if I am in Delhi at that point of time. Okay, so before that, what you need to do, practice, prepare, change the mindset, be a winner. Get ready to answer the questions which you don't know. Even if you don't know the answer for the question which they've asked, use that opportunity to show at least one of the quality that they're looking for. Can you do that now? You don't know the answer. Can you give an answer in such a way, or you can tell that you don't know in such a way that you reflect one of the quality that they are looking for from you? Simply, rather than simply saying, I don't know. I've given so many examples, right? So that's it, guys. So by understanding the sources of stress and practicing like a deep breathing, visualization, and positive self-talk, you'll be better equipped to stay calm during the interview and composed. So you know the sources of stress. What I'm doing in this 50 sessions, I'm avoiding that sources of stress. You will not have a doubt that what if I won't answer this question? Get ready for not answering the question. Even get ready for saying no to a question which you don't know. For example, your interview is about to getting over. You have answered all the question. And again, you don't have an opportunity to say no and reveal some quality that they're looking for from that, which you can deliver from that only. So sometimes least relevant question, if you feel that you need to say no to that. Okay, so that's the way we discuss. And guys, building confidence is very important. What we can do, preparation, especially mock interviews, and the confidence you get through these sessions, though these are group sessions, one-to-one session is coming. That is where the real game change will be there with the DAF. Okay. So all these will help you. And remember, it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to have stress, but how you manage that anxiety can make all the difference. So yeah, we can take up the questions and the doubts. I don't think there is any recap of the session is required. If you want, okay, we can do. Who will do? Rishikesh? Yes, so what I'll do is let me stop recording. I'll unmute one by one. We can discuss the questions. We can discuss the assignment, which is given yesterday. Okay, what next you can do is do this. Practice breathing exercise daily, the one which I've discussed. Use the visualization techniques that you are entering, or you visualize that you are giving a mock interview to me or even to a board, that you're entering and you are getting a positive response. You are answering the questions properly. You're coming out with satisfaction. Always, all day, you try to visualize this. Automatically, that is what actually going to happen in the interview. Okay. So, yes, I can unmute Rishikesh. You can discuss now.